What's happening, guys? Fallen from OTB here, coming at you with a new vid. This is just gonna hopefully be a shorter video of some of the attacks that I want to touch on the last war or so. Here is an attack that I'm showing my new favorite army used on a 100% max base, and I just wanted to show this as an example of what can be done and the power of the blimp bomb. Starting out here, we it's a little tough to find your angles, which we're going to find. We're going to be coming in from over here eventually. Um, I think it doesn't matter if it's a max base or not. When you get those archers dropped in the right spot, things are going to blow up very quickly here. And as I don't know what I was doing. I think I was like a little bit nervous about there just being max base here. It's like, oh, is it going to work? So we use that lava hound again. I've been looking for enough reasons to get that lava hound involved with with sending in, instead of wasting a warden ability. The lava hound is a crucial 30 troop space, well used to make sure that blimp gets in there safely. And the value of this blimp bomb right here is absolutely nuts, as it basically deletes anything inside that town hall entrance, and even then some. So kind of the the goal number two about a situation like this, first of all, is those archers deal with things very slowly. So you want to be able to kind of start on that little tail that's left of defenses. So that's going to be a great place to get your main troops started. We did use the E-Titan right there, which is slowly but surely deleting most of those little pups. That is why I like using the E-Titan. I'm kind of practicing not using it right now, because there's a lot of extra troop space that I will want to be able to use, and that is a lot of troop space. So decide to use the RC there to kind of get a little bit of help, and then while things are kind of semi-tanking, I wanted to send in the rest of the force here, which again, we're using them kind of like hogs or something that's going to kind of do a little bit of a side swipe of the base. So you don't want to spread them out too much. You want a very clear path, which is very nice going across this kind of arrowhead style method. As soon as it starts getting into the heavy defenses, you're going to use your warden ability and just kind of keep everything out ahead. You want to keep your RC alive, because the RC is one of the things that are either going to be killing the heroes or picking off a couple of the crucial defenses along the way. Things like that Eagle artillery and or some bigger air defenses and things that the air troops will not be getting into right away. I like the Dragon Riders because they get right down to business. They go after all of the primary defenses and just kind of move along. Same thing as like what Hogs would do. Really, this is just the air version of Hogs that I've come to love. Why I like this is because they don't require any spells. However, I have realized that they do require the use of the Grand Warden. So if you're going to use something like that, it has to be in a scenario when you can use a Lava Hound to kind of tank for your blimp, get a successful blimp bomb in, because you can't do it without any of those. The Town Hall has to go down, and really as big of defenses as possible are going to need to go down with it. So in this war, it's an unfortunate loss here for us, but I am going to go over these attacks. We're going to start with T, who's been using the spam E-Titan attack. This has been working really well for him. So essentially, he's just going across the side of the base. He tends to do the side over setting it on the opposite side, and I like that because it allows things to get in there a little bit easier than trying to send them across the whole base. It's really annoying to have to do that. What I do like is up there, you notice you saw a lot of the ground skeletons will die. I think that it's a really good idea to to deal with anything ground immediately, and he saves that freeze there for when that single target locked on. We can also save a freeze for the town hall if we need it. In this particular case, it looks like it's going down pretty easily once we get down that monolith. Sure enough. So then you get to save for that back end of bats. You can, one freeze is great, but two is going to be better, usually on the back end, just in case they get stuck on a defense or something. And really, they stayed alive long enough where here you still have just a couple alive, a little bit of the heroes still alive. Queen and RC still have their abilities, so there's no question here as to how quickly things do go down when your heroes are alive in this case. He's also got Diggy walking around too, making everything work out just fine. Here we have just individual defenses. The base is crushed. Another wonderful job by T. He's doing such a good job with this style strat, and you'll find that people who excel at certain strats have their ability to pick their style of bases. For example, that base, I didn't really like the look of it, so I didn't want to, risk a, whereas he can capitalize and kind of take advantage of that situation with that usage of those troops. Here we'll jump into number 9. This was me. So I accidentally hit this base, but I have hit it before. I don't even think I tripled it before. But you'll see how I kind of had a little bit of a situation here where I dropped the Warden, which I like to do, and I like to try and send the balloons as far as possible, but the Warden took so much damage, I was barely able to get the blimp down in time. So that's fine. We're dedicating a lot of balloons to get this done, but we are getting that blimp bomb to drop right in the middle right there. And just in case everyone wants to know that this is a very common base, very easy to drop your troops right there. So I think that's something nice that was learned. Here we got a really nice value out of that. As far as we're concerned here, you're trying to take out all those big defenses. Again, if you can get everything and then those infernos as well, look at that. This is nearly 30% value, if not 30 by the time it's done. Insane value on being able to pick off these defenses. And look at that, the archers are dealing with the rest. Once again, we talk about that tail of defenses where you're going to send your heroes in. So whether or not you choose to use an ice golem or not, I like to use it, but I'm now trying to train not to use them anymore. I didn't have an E-Titan with as well. They could have been really helpful for this type of scenario instead of oh wait, I did have the E-Titan, whoops. It just didn't go where I wanted it to go. So, again, really nice for lava pups and or traps. So what we do here is, just like hogs back in the day, we're surgically deploying these. If you have 1 or 2 defenses on a drag rider, that's no problem at all. So we send it with Diggy, and we're basically just slowly churning away. As here we drop our front line, and here we have the deployment. So you have this whole section right here that essentially, sure, the queen is doing work there, E-Titan and everything, but here we're just really slowly pushing these troops through here. And with the use of Diggy and a soon-to-die RC, Diggy is really doing great at things like if you're to come up across the Eagle or those single-target Infernos more particularly. If there's a monolith, things like that, it's going to buy you that 5 seconds to be able to get in there. And look at this, it's absolutely crushed. It's all these troops are still alive and completely destroyed that base. Very common base that we see. So we're going to keep moving things down here, and we're going to go over to here we go. We got some baby making issues outside there. Baby making trouble, I meant to say. So here we're going to start Warlock using his good old classic run, and he is doing a very good job with this style of strat. Again, it's kind of the 3-prong attack where we're starting on 3 multiple fronts at one time. Keep in mind, if you are going to go straight at the Town Hall, it's always smartest to do either with the Grand Warden or the Flame Flinger, and then he will come in later with the Archer Queen to kind of put some work in on that. That's a really nice little assassination there on that hero that's really kind of stuck out in the open. So we are going to want to move Grand Warden away because that monolith is going to target very soon, so we're starting the Queen right down here. Again, it's really tough to have heroes on the outside because you have to dedicate spells to them, and sometimes they can kind of just stuff your troops when, at certain times that just doesn't work out for you. In this case, let's see how the Grand Warden does. Is it going to get away in time? Sure enough, that's good. So, good timing with that. Never forget to look away when a situation like that happens. Now, Queen is going to need a rage most likely down here. Yes, that drops. We have to deal with those heroes. That Warden does so much damage by itself. Everything else is pushing inside just fine. that nice little freeze that we kind of had to drop right there. Other than that, everything is pushing forward. We're letting our bowlers do the work here at this point. Things do get a little bit scary because we got a monolith and 3 Inferno Towers, 2 of which are single target killers. And we cannot lose things like that P.E.K.K.A, and those super bowlers are important to keep alive as long as possible. There's also that poison spell that had dropped down from the poison tower, and slowly but surely that monolith finally goes down. And here you can kind of start to see what we're looking at here. We have healthy heroes once again. Things are not in the greatest of shape, but we have enough heroes that are going to be able to take down those last defenses there, especially with that RC ability, and things are going to burn down very quickly. So it's really about the usage of your heroes that it makes so much success in these attacks, and that we saw here. So that's a really good job. And do we keep moving? McConnell. Here we go. Finally, we got another McConnell hit in. We're noticing a lot of these guys having continued success with their attacks. And McConnell is one of them who is using this pretty specific strategy. And quite frankly, we see proof that this seems to be just working on a lot of the same bases. And a lot of very common bases. And I think that's what's most important right now, is that we're hitting very similar style bases. We know what we're looking at. I think it's helping out a lot to see our guys, professionally handling their style of bases that they like to hit. So once again, those E Titans with the mixture of everything else it's a really good healthy combo, and he likes to run with that blimp ability. So he's using the ability of the blimp. However, going against that blower is really tough, so we had to end it a little bit early there. I guess in a perfect world, he wanted to probably make it on the other side of the wall to assure that we're going to get that town hall kill. Things do get a little sketchy right here. However, you notice that the troops start to break around the outside. I think that's what makes things work so well in this style of an attack, is because those archers, then they are going to end up... Do they get the kill? I didn't see. We don't have any proof of that yet, but that town hall is hurting. So it's pending to go down here as quickly as possible. Oh, look at that. Are they going to snipe it? Oh, I didn't see. No, not yet. So... It's fine, though, because those archers are picking away the middle, and really, these E-Titans, their job is better to be served going kind of around the outside. Are we going to be able to get it with the ability here with the RC? I'm just waiting for the time that this is finally going to happen where it goes down. Maybe once this goes down, we'll pop it. No, but okay, things do move kind of inbound right there, so that's perfect. Everyone's just sitting back to wait and see when the damn thing is going to blow up. And everything runs through the poison right there. So, perfect lesson on how important it is to get those down away from your heroes and or anything else following behind it, especially healers and really any kind of main troops that you're dealing with. Finally, that poison ends just in time to be able to pick off that single target Inferno. Then we're up into that last little section of the base, and when you have E-Titans that have anywhere above half the health, you're going to be able to see them make it through a little section like this, especially when they kind of spread out just enough to not get all slammed together at the same time. By that, Queen is moving in while it's locked on to other troops, and Queen's going to get that kill. So that is very nice there, MC. There we see what he's using, just a nice little assortment of all troops there. And did we have anything else? Fresh. Yes, so I meant to show Fresh from the last war. He did get a triple after the last video that I made. I felt a little bit bad. I was going to go back and play it. However, here we've got a new Fresh hit right here. So we're going to roll with that. And Fresh is loving the use of the Super Bowlers. Super Bowlers are more common than most things these days. I think a lot of people use them because they're very safe choices. So keep in mind here, really where you're going to be sending your troops in, I think is the most important thing, is there's a lot of different locations that you can start from, and I think a lot of people's issues with the success of these hits is they don't know exactly where to start, and I am definitely one of them. So here's something we're worried about. Are we going to be able to handle that on our own? Yes. So keep in mind, it is healable through the queen. And you don't have to burn any. I mean, either use a rage and you can burn queen down, or you're going to use your headhunter to handle queen without the use of rage. But sometimes you don't catch it until later. So the goal up there with the flinger, we're trying to take down that big heavy defense right there. Maybe if we're lucky, we can get that eagle artillery started by the time the troops get there. If not, we're just pushing everything forward. You know, really, they should be able to handle that amount of damage, even with the scatter coming in, as long as those healers are able to catch up. And of course, we're going to want to use that warden ability, which did happen. Here we need that big rage, and we do need to freeze the shit out of those heavy defenses there in the middle. Clan Castle pops. We got those dragons and couple loons working their way across the top, which I think are great troops to use it more often than not. I'm a big fan of using like hogs or things that aren't on the ground necessarily or have to walk around the outside of the buildings and walls. And again, as long as you have a couple healers that make it through the kind of that core, they're going to be able to heal those super bowlers up quite enough to at least be able to take out those most defenses before things start fizzling out. Here it's worked perfectly. We have the heroes that were able to stay together. Hero abilities still available. Not the strongest base in the world, but still kind of the concept of when you're going to want to use bowlers. And sure enough, we got this thing beat without any issue whatsoever. And I think this was it for the triples on this war. I'm pretty sure that's all we have. So that's a fantastic job. And took them down. Unfortunately, we are losing this war. So, maybe next time we can come up with enough triples. Let's see here. Did I find a lot of good hits by the enemy here? Blue. Okay, so there's Jackie. Let's get Jackie in one here. So, yeah, I was looking at this. So using the hybrid. So this is fun. This will be our last attack of the day here. Makes me wonder if this was I don't know what this extra little wall section here is for, but the rest of the base looks pretty normal, like bases we're used to seeing. So anyways, yes, we're starting up on top. We want to be able to pick off the town hall with the flinger. And here we have a nice little start. Trying to walk along the outside right there, take care of those obvious defenses, and then get that queen in that compartment, so then we can run everything down here. Damn, did I play this in the last video? I feel like now I've watched this attack so much I don't even remember if I did or didn't put this in the last video. I just go for it, guys. So if it actually ended up being the same attack, I'm very sorry, because I do remember seeing the deployment down here, which is a great place to put it. So we had queen pushing forward here. God, I can't even remember anything anymore. The town hall is just about to... Well, it's just taking damage here finally now. So those types of things, it's going to take a long time with the max town hall these days. So we want to make sure we have that poison out. And he went with the rage again, I think, just to make sure we don't have too much damage. Perfect poison, if I've seen it. Again, this is all looking too familiar to me. Queen is just kind of slowly banging through that. Is going to take off those defenses and has now really taken the focus of the eagle, which as long as we get this attack going here, things are going to be fine. So there we go. We start our king to kind of absorb and also work either going up with the hogs, or it's going to go around the outside, which I think is even better because you get a little better tanking when that happens. And king just kind of naturally pushes around the outside, allows things to stay moving forward. Really good. Town hall goes down. That's about to pop. Do we have hogs in there? Sure enough, we do. And are they going to... Oh, okay, they do go right around. So they might not be of the greatest benefit here, but they are going to be able to take care of that back end. Couple defenses there and potential healing that happens. Warden ability goes down right when things start focusing on it, and we still have one heal perfectly for that big heavy compartment where we will be worrying about that damage coming in. Damage no longer. That goes down just fine. Everything is healing up completely full. So this is, I mean, this is just smashed. There is no contest with this amount of troops. That really prevented so much damage from happening on all these troops here, and there was a lot of things left here. A lot of miners, a lot of hogs eventually did go flying there, but that was very well done here by Jakey. Uh, that's a great job. I guess there's nothing more I can show that's gonna prove anything different. We are just going to get it done right here and call this video at this time. Thank you guys, and this is Fallen from OTB signing off.